Hi, everybody, and welcome to the hallowed halls of the Alumni House. I am the Quacker, and this is as the title of this video says, this is the season finale, the regular season finales of the 2026 college baseball season. We have flown through this season. It always seems like it just goes by so fast. We're here. And we're going to spend some time tonight, most of the time tonight, looking at the conference standings and what each team, what the teams who are in contention for the regular season championships, what they have to do to potentially win it this year, whether it's, if you're in first place, just winning enough games to hold on, or if you're in a position below them to overtake them, what they have to do to overtake it. So we'll look at all that, and we'll do a quick look behind and a look ahead to see what the final week for the season looks like for our teams. So, as I get prepared to get started here, all right, real quick, we'll do a run through from this past week's results. Let's see. All right, so we'll start with the American, like we always do. All right, so the first series was South Florida hosting Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic won the series 2-1. South Florida won the getaway game 11-6. Florida Atlantic, they are 28-24, 12-12 in conference play. South Florida is 30-20, 9-15 in conference play. Next series up, Tulane made the trip out to the Queen City to take on Charlotte. Charlotte series sweep, won the getaway game 6-3. Tulane is 25-28, 10-14. Charlotte is 26-26, and they are also 10-14 in conference play. Next series up, Wichita State made the trip to San Antonio to take on conference leading UTSA. UTSA with the series sweep. Again, they won the getaway game 6-3. Wichita State, they are 27-25, 11-13 in conference play. UTSA, they are 35-17, 16-8 in conference play. Next up, UAB made the trip out to Rice. This is repetitive again. Rice with the series sweep. Rice wins the getaway game 10-3. UAB, they are 29-23, 13-11 in conference play. Rice is 31-22, and they are also 13-11 in conference play. And then finally, East Carolina made the trip to Memphis. Memphis won the series 2-1. They won the rubber match game 9-4. East Carolina, they are 30-21-1. They are 14-10 in the conference, and Memphis is 21-30, and they are 12-12 in conference play. All right, so the way we're going to do this is with each conference, we're going to go ahead and I'll go through the results from the previous week, and then we'll look at the standings, where they are right now, and then we're going to look at the American Conference, or the conference scenarios of what has to be done to win the conference regular season title. So, staying here to the American, UTSA, they are 16-8. They are in first place. Overall record is 34-17. RPI is 50, and RPI matters for getting into the regionals, into the field of 64 for a chance to get to Omaha. So RPI is 50. Non-conference RPI, so it's against teams that are obviously not in your conference. This is like early season series and your midweeks. They are 64 in the nation. ECU, they are 14-10, 2 games behind. They are, like I said, 30-21-1. And if you're listening to this maybe for the first time, you're going, how does a baseball team have a tie? You have a tie because usually it's usually on your what they call a getaway day, which is like normally Sunday. There's a hard time limit normally, and it can't start after that time because they have to have time to get ready to go to the airport or get on the bus and travel back to their college. So that's how ties occur. I think you would see them pop up in midweeks from time to time, but you normally see that on like a Sunday game. So ECU, their RPI is 52, so they're 2 spots below UTSA, but non-conference RPI, they're way ahead. They are 45. Rice, they're in third place. They are 13-11, 3 games behind. 31-21, RPI of 68, non-conference of 78. UAB, they're also sitting at third. Again, 13-11, 3 games behind. 29-22, RPI of 63, in non-conference of 55. FAU, they are 12-12, 4 games behind. They're 27-24 overall. RPI of 118, so that's not very good. Their RPI versus non-conference is 149, so that's really not good. Memphis also at 12-12, 4 games behind. 21-29 overall record. 106 RPI in 159 non-conference. Wichita State 11-13 in conference, 5 games behind. UTSA 27-25 record, 162 RPI in 217 non-conference RPI, and that is the worst by quite a lot in the American Conference for the non-conference RPI. Charlotte, they are 10-14, 6 games behind. They are 25-26, 88 RPI and 92 non-conference RPI. Tulane, they are also 10-14, also 6 games behind. They are 25-28 overall, 138 RPI and 141 non-conference. Add in, bringing up the rear, USF, they are 9-15, 7 games behind. They are 30-20 overall, though. So they've had a good non-conference record, not good conference. RPI of 71, non-conference RPI of 28. So they've played some heavy competition outside of the American. Now the conference championship scenarios here. We have UTSA in the driver's seat, 2 games up with 3 to go. Like I said, this is the final weekend. All games start on Thursday. You have Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This week, they need to win 2 of 3 against UAB, who's in a 3-way tie for third in the conference to win the regular season championship outright. They can also win it with with 1 win and a loss by ECU in their series to win the title. If I think at that point it would be a tie, but they would win because of the tiebreaker, which would be overall record. ECU is sitting 2 games behind. They need a series sweep of FAU, who is in 6th place. They're tied for 4th if you look at the 2-way tie for 3rd. UTSA needs to be swept by UAB in order for ECU to pull that off. That is the only way for ECU to win the conference championship. Rice and UAB, they can, if they were to sweep their opponents, and of course UAB is playing UTSA. They could technically get into a tie for first, but because of record, UTSA would still win. But it would help with seeding for the conference tournament. The conference tournament is seeded by where you finish in the conference. They only take 9 of the 10 teams, which is kind of odd that they take an uneven number. But they're not the only ones who do that. So 9 out of 10 teams are eligible to go. Seeding is based on how they finish in the conference. And like I said, tiebreakers come down to head-to-head results. All right, we're going to hop over to Conference USA. Let's see here. Conference USA. All right, so for the previous week, Conference USA, Florida International made the trip to Delaware. This was kind of the worst against the worst in the conference. Delaware with the series sweep. Won the getaway game 13-9. Florida International, they are 17-34, 8-19 in conference play. Delaware is even worse. They are 17-34, and they are 5-22 in conference play. Jacksonville State made the trip to Missouri State. Jacksonville State won the series 2-1. Jacksonville State had to win the rubber match game to win the series. They won it 11-4. Jacksonville State, they are 41-11, 22-5 in conference play on the season. Missouri State, they are 30-17, and they are 18-9 in the conference on the season. Liberty made the trip to New Mexico State. Liberty won the series with a sweep. Won the getaway game 7-4. Liberty, they are 36-17, 19-8 in the conference. New Mexico State, they are 19-32, and they are 8-19 in conference play. Sam Houston made the trip to Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State with the series sweep. Won the getaway game 12-1. Sam Houston, they are 23-20, 12-15 in conference play. I think I need to quit calling it Sam Houston State because I think they're just Sam Houston now. And I do the same thing with Middle Tennessee because they were Middle Tennessee State forever. And I believe they're just called Middle Tennessee now. So I'm going to try to do better on that. Kennesaw State, they are 24-24. They are also at 12-15 on the season. See, next up, Louisiana Tech made the trip to Dallas to take on Dallas Baptist. Dallas Baptist won the series 2-1. They had to win the Sunday game to win the series. They won it 9-7. Let's see, Louisiana Tech is 31-22, 17-10 in conference play. Dallas Baptist, they are 29-23, and they are 17-10 in conference play. Western Kentucky made the trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to take on Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky won the series 2-1. They had to win on Sunday to win the series. They won it 9-8. See, Western Kentucky, they are 28-24, 13-4, 13-14 on the season in conference. Middle Tennessee, they are 25-27 and 11-16 in conference play. All right, so looking at the standings for the conference, Jacksonville State is in first place, 22-5, 40-11 overall record, RPI of 32, but their non-conference record, non-conference RPI is 67. So that's not good, especially to have such a high RPI overall. Liberty, second place. They are 19-8, 3 games behind Jacksonville State. So Jacksonville State has all but secured the conference regular season conference championship. Overall record, Liberty is 36-16, 35 RPI, and 36 non-conference. So that's really good for them. Their RPIs are really, really close there. And they're only 3 behind Jacksonville State, who is obviously the most likely winner of the conference this year. Missouri State, they're in third place, 18-9, 4 games behind. So they're out. Like, the only team that may have a chance is Liberty. I still don't think they'll win, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But Missouri State, 4 games behind. They're 30-17 on the season, 24 RPI, 13 non-conference RPI. So Missouri State has played some very tough non-conference competition. Next up, La Tech. They're in a tie for fourth place. 17-10, 5 games behind, 31-22, 62 RPI, 81 non-conference RPI. Dallas Baptist is also at 17-10, 5 games behind, 29-23, 76 RPI, 94 non-conference. Dallas Baptist has had a streak of 11 consecutive regionals made. They are one of 3 teams with very long regional streaks who is in danger of missing out on regionals this year. That's sad to see. I have nothing for against Dallas Baptist. Well, I guess I kind of have something for Dallas Baptist because of they stop at 7 p.m. every game. It may just be Friday nights, but I know at least on Friday nights they stop because there's a National Soldier Museum right across the. National Soldier Cemetery right across the road from the ball field while they play taps, and they all face the cemetery and stand at attention. So that's really cool that they do that. So a little bit of reason to pull for them there if you're a patriotic American. Outside of that, like I don't have any loyalty to the school or anything like that, but it's cool to see a mid-major who's really kind of stick the claim to we're going to be good in one sport, and this is it, and baseball is their sport, and to see them potentially miss out when they've had such a long streak, it's kind of disappointing. But I say that to regress on to Western Kentucky. They are 13-14. They're 9 games behind, 28-24 on the season. 128 RPI, 132 non-conference RPI. Kennesaw State 12-15, 10 games behind. They're 24-24, 82 RPI, 39 non-conference RPI. So they have played some very hard competition outside of the conference as well. Sam Houston 12-15. 10 games behind, 23-29. Their RPI is not good. 177 overall, 182 for non-conference RPI. Now, Sam Houston has come close to beating Texas this year. They've been in some matchups that had they won them, they could have bumped their RPI up. It wouldn't have been enough to get them an at-large bid. But it could have improved the resume a little bit. Middle Tennessee, 11-16. They're 11 games behind. 24-27. Their RPI is 220. Non-conference RPI is 254. New Mexico State, they are 8-19, 14 games behind. 19-31. Let's see. 204 RPI. 216 non-conference. Florida International, they are 8-19, 14 games behind. 17-34 record. 219 RPI in 199 non-conference. And then Delaware, 5-22. They are 17 games behind. They are also 17-34 overall. 244 RPI and a 163 non-conference. So, Conference USA, they only take 9 of their 12 teams. So, basically, at this point, New Mexico, FIU, New Mexico State, FIU, and Delaware are out of the conference tournament. So this weekend will pretty much be it for them. I think something really bad would have to happen to like Middle Tennessee this weekend for New Mexico or FIU to have a chance of sneaking in. But I mean, they would be tied at that point. And on the tiebreakers, as it goes, Middle Tennessee would still have a better overall record by like a game or two. So at least over New Mexico, so they would probably still be in. So this is probably it for New Mexico and FIU. It's definitely it for Delaware no matter what. Jacksonville State is in the driver's seat, 3 games up over Liberty with 3 games to go. The magic number for Jacksonville State is 1. All they got to do is win 1 game. Liberty to lose 1 game, and Jacksonville State, actually, all they got to do is win 1 game, and it's over. Liberty won't be able to close the gap at that point. So Liberty can only tie Jacksonville State to become co-champions. They'll have to sweep Middle Tennessee, and DBU have to sweep Jacksonville State. And I say that they would be, possibly becoming co-champions, but based on tiebreakers, I believe the overall record, the overall record would still be in favor of Jacksonville State. So I think it's pretty much a lock for Jacksonville State at this point. But I guess there's always an outside chance for Liberty. Let's see, Missouri State sits in 3rd place. They can't win the conference, but they can move into 2nd place if they win 2 and Liberty loses 2. And again, this is important for seeding. La Tech and Dallas Baptist are the only other 2 teams that can make any significant moves this weekend, as both have a chance to move into 2nd place with sweeps, and Liberty getting swept, and Missouri State losing 2 or 3. So I really think this is Jacksonville State's like it hasn't been, like, they haven't dogpiled yet to announce that they won the conference championship, but it's theirs. I don't see them. I think they're playing Liberty this weekend, so let's see. I was on the wrong weekend when I was giving the scores earlier. Okay. All right, let me go back to the scores real quick because I was on the wrong weekend there. New Mexico State went to Missouri State. Missouri State won the series 3-0. Louisiana Tech went to Liberty Louisiana Tech won the series 2-1. They won the getaway game 9-3. Middle Tennessee went to Florida International. Florida International won the series 2-1. Middle Tennessee won the getaway game 11-9. Kennesaw State went to Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State won the series 2-1. Kennesaw State won the getaway game 5-2. Western Kentucky hosted Dallas Baptist. Western Kentucky won the series 2-1. Won the rubber match game 7-4. Sam Houston State hosted Delaware. Or Sam Houston. Sam Houston hosted Delaware. Sam Houston went to sweep 3-0. All right, this weekend here. Let's see, Jacksonville State. They host Dallas Baptist this weekend. So, I mean, I guess there's a chance that they could sweep Dallas Baptist, but Dallas Baptist is they're still a tough team. I think that they would at least win one game, but Liberty would need them to lose all their games to have a chance. I don't know if they had a midweek game this week. There wasn't a lot of midweeks this week. Yeah, Liberty played a midweek game this week and they lost. And Jacksonville State played one and they won. So, they're actually their record, overall record, puts them ahead of Liberty by enough that, this is. I mean, they haven't crowned them Conference USA champions yet, but it's theirs. So I didn't realize that there was midweek games this week until last night after I put everything together. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Sun Belt. This is one of the close series here. Close, like the conference is still up for grabs. It's down to two teams and only two teams, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right. Let's see. On the previous weekend, Texas State went to Arkansas State. Texas State with the series sweep won the final game 15-9. Number 12 Southern Miss made the trip up to James Madison. I would have loved to have been on that trip. What I could see on TV, it was a really nice park. I've been to like the just the outside corner of Virginia, on the way to West Virginia years ago. I would love to spend a little time at in Virginia. It looked like a nice area there at, but Southern Miss with the series sweep. Southern won the getaway game 10-5. Old Dominion went to number 8 Coastal Carolina. Old Dominion with the series win 2-1. They lost the first game. They won the next two. They won the getaway game or the rubber match game 9-2. UL Monroe made a trip to Marshall. Marshall won the series 2-1. Monroe won the getaway game 7-5. ULL went to App State. Louisiana Lafayette won the series 2-1. They won the getaway game 12-3. And then finally, South Alabama went to Troy. Troy won the series 2-1, and they won the rubber match game 8-1. As far as the standings go for the conference, all right, Coastal Carolina, they are at 20-7, first place. 34 and I guess 30. We can say 35-17 because I believe they won the midweek game this week. Let's see. Yeah, they are 35-17. Who did they play this week? They played the Citadel. All right, yeah. So they didn't really play anybody this week for the midweek game. But All right, so they're 35-17, RPI of 25, non-conference RPI of 25. That may have changed since I put this together because they've played another game. USCM is in second place in the conference. They are 19-8. They are one game behind Coastal. They have a overall record that's better, 37-14. RPI of 9, non-conference RPI of 1. That's right. Southern Miss is the hardest non-conference schedule this year. Their strength schedule is really high. I don't remember what it was. It was late when I was putting this together, and strength of schedule kind of went out the window when I was looking at with the numbers and stuff. But the RPI and kind of that non-conference RPI is what the committees will look at when they're doing the selections for regionals and for like your seedings and national like national host, national seeds, like 1 through 16. Of course, 1 through 8 are the ones who, if they win the first regional, they host the super regional. So having an RPI of 9 and non-conferences of 1, that really would strengthen Southern's case for hosting and being a top 8 seed, which would be amazing. In third place, App State. They are 16-11. Let's see, 4 games behind, 29-20. RPI of 101. Non-conference of 162. South Alabama is 15-12, 5 games behind. They are 31-20. RPI of 58, non-conference of 74. Troy is also 15-12, 5 games behind. They are 26-26. RPI 54, non-conference RPI 52. ULL is 14-13. Games behind is 6. Our overall record is 32-20. Their RPI is 49. Non-conference RPI is 38. Texas State, they are 13-14, 7 games behind, 31-21. RPI of 43. Non-conference RPI of 22. So they played a good, tough non-conference schedule. Old Dominion 13-14, 7 games behind, 27-24 overall record, 95 RPI, and a 109 non-conference. Let's see, Marshall 13-14, 7 games behind, 23-28, RPI of 175, and non-conference of 222. So they're the worst RPI and non-conference RPI. No, I'm sorry, they're not the worst RPI, but they're the worst non-conference RPI. Let's see. Georgia State 12-15, 8 games behind. They are 24-27, RPI of 133, non-conference RPI of 128. Arkansas State 11-16, 9 games behind, 28-22, RPI of 60, non-conference RPI of 18. So they've played a very good, tough non-conference schedule. Seeing them at 11-16, and how tough they started the season, because they beat Southern Miss in the first series, first conference series of the season, and seeing we thought they were going to be a top 3 conference team, and to see them at the bottom, it's kind of disappointing. Let's see, ULM is 11-16. They're also 9 games behind, 26-26, 154 RPI, 200 non-conference. So they're the second worst non-conference RPI. Let's see, James Madison 10-17, 10 games behind. They are 20-30, 173 RPI and a 171 non-conference RPI. At least they're close right there. And I tell you, I didn't think this James Madison team was all that good just based off their record, but they played Southern pretty well this weekend. Pitching was pretty good. They steal a lot of bases. I think they'd had like 140 stolen bases on the season. So when they get on base, they run. Like they'll run you out of the building. But they just their pitching isn't good enough to close out the games when they get a lead. It doesn't seem like. Last place is Georgia Southern. They are 7-20, 13 games behind. They are 15-37 on the season. 213 RPI and a 166 non-conference RPI. This weekend will be their last weekend of the season. So now the Sun Belt scenarios here for regular season title. It's really a two-team race here. In fact, it's only a two-team race here. Coastal Carolina needs to either sweep ULL or win the series and hope USM loses a game against Georgia Southern. Like I said, they are in last place in the conference. For USM, they sit one game behind Coastal Carolina going into the final weekend. If they can take 2 of 3 from Georgia Southern and ULL beats Coastal 2 of 3, then the Eagles will be tied for first place and it'll come down to tiebreakers for the regular season championship. Head-to-head is their first tiebreaker, but they haven't played this season. In fact, they have never played regular season. I don't think they've ever played it in the history of the programs head-to-head in the regular season, but definitely haven't played since they've been conference members. So that tiebreaker's out, and then it would come down to winning percentage against the next highest team in the standings. So that would be App State or South Alabama or Troy. But it would be like the common opponent, next highest team with the common opponent. That's basically did you win the series? Did you sweep? Is what that'll come down to. So if it's either 100% or 66% or whatever, if it's like App State, then Southern, they went 2-1 over them. South Alabama, that was the only other series that Southern lost this year. So I hope that's not the one that it comes down to for Southern's sake. If this is how it turns out, but for Southern, the best thing to do is just to go out and sweep Georgia Southern this weekend. Like leave no doubt. Let Louisiana Lafayette take care of business with Coastal. If USM sweeps Georgia Southern and Coastal loses the series to Louisiana Lafayette, then USM wins its first regular season title. And the Sun Belt, they've come in third. They've come in second place, so runner-up, the first 3 years that they've been in the conference. So this is their 4th year in the Sun Belt. They've been in the title game for the Sun Belt Conference Championship, the tournament. They've been in the title game all 3 years, and they won it the first 2 seasons. In fact, this picture here, and I forgot to turn the lights on here so you can see a little bit better. This picture here was after they won the back-to-back championships, the conference championships in the tournament. Of course, that also secures the automatic bid for the NCAA tournament, but winning the conference championship, the conference tournament. Also, if Southern sweeps this weekend, it will extend their consecutive 40-win season streak. They're currently at 10 consecutive seasons with 40 plus wins, which is the longest current streak in the NCAA. I looked it up. I looked it up earlier, like to see what the longest streak, like consecutive seasons, was, and it was like 40 something seasons. So Southern's a long, long way from winning, from overtaking that. But yeah, that's that's cool though that Southern Miss is the longest current 40 win season, and they also have the longest 30 plus streak. They're well over 20. I think it's like 23 or 24 consecutive seasons if they won 30 plus games. App State is the only other team that can make a play for second place. They would need USCM to get swept by the last place team in the conference, and they would have to sweep Georgia State to make a move to tie for second. Then it would come down to those same tiebreakers and stuff, and I think Southern Miss would probably be the team that would still be in second place there, but without spending the amount of time I would have to compare records here to see who their common opponents are. I'll just have to say that there's a chance that App State could make a move for second here. South Alabama and Troy can make a move for third place in the standings. They would need a sweep and hope App State loses 2 of 3 to accomplish that. As far as the conference tournament goes, the top 10 teams qualify in the seeding is based on standings at the end of the season. So as it stands right now, assuming things don't change, James Madison and Georgia Southern would be out of the conference tournament, and their seasons would be completely over. It's tough when the season ends, especially for the seniors. You play all season, and then the conference championship comes around. The end season comes around. You had a bad season. You don't get a chance to play for your conference title, conference championship in the tournament, and that's it. Even if they got to play one game, that's one more game they get to play with their boys. Because most of these guys, when they graduate, they go on to be insurance salesmen or financial advisors or doctors or lawyers or whatever they went to school for. Very few, as most of y'all know, very few go on to become professional baseball players. So, it would be cool to see the all these conferences expand, but it would also I can see where it would be hard because it would make it difficult for these conferences, to they would have to expand out the amount of days they play, and of course you have potential for like a team that you wouldn't really want representing your conference in the regionals, who maybe just would get hot in the tournament where they hadn't been hot all season, and they make a run and maybe knock a team who would have a chance, knock them out, and then they don't get regionals. So I can see why they also don't extend out like the ACC does, because the ACC, they allow every team in the conference to play. All right. Speaking of the ACC, we're going to go ahead and cover them next. All right. So last weekend, Boston College, and of course I don't know why they do this. All right, let's see. Boston College, they hosted New Jersey Tech. I'm going to have to look. I'm sure they won the series, but they lost this. I didn't say series. I said series. Let's see. Let's see. right, easiest thing to do here. All right, yeah. So they only played 2 games against New Jersey Tech. It was just a doubleheader Sunday. They split it. They lost the first one, won the second one. They had a Tuesday night game. It was canceled. So yeah, but they did not play a conference series this weekend. First conference series I see here is Cal made the trip out to number 23 Virginia. Cal won the series 2-1. They won the rubber match 8-7. Cal is 27-24, 10-17 in the ACC. Virginia, they are 23-18, 13-14 in ACC. Losing conference record and still are ranked. Oh, to be a Power 4 team. All right, Notre Dame, they hosted Oakland this weekend. They had a series sweep of Oakland, won the getaway game 9-3, and they played Dayton on Tuesday, won that one 16-6. Let's see, another non-conference series. Wake Forest, they hosted Western Carolina. Series sweep.
Sorry, I don't understand.
They swept the series against Western Carolina, won the final game 9-5. They played Liberty this Tuesday, won it was 7-5. They have won 4, 5, 6. They're on an 8-game win streak right now. So how about that? Let's see. The next conference series we have here is Georgia Tech hosted Duke. Georgia Tech with the series sweep. Won the final game 14-1. And Georgia Tech's ranked 3, by the way. Duke, I think, is like a last place in the conference. Duke is 24-28, 9-18 in the conference. Georgia Tech is 42-9, 22-5 in conference play. Virginia Tech had a non-conference series this weekend. They only played a 2-game set against UNC Greensboro. They split the series 1-1. They lost the first game 18-3, and they won the second game 11-9. Their midweek against Marshall was canceled. Pittsburgh and North Carolina, they played a conference series this weekend. Number 2 North Carolina with the series sweep, won the final game 7-3. Pittsburgh, they are 29-21, 10-17 in conference play. UNC, they are 41-9-1. They've had one tie. They are 20-7 on the season in the conference. Number 14 Florida State went to Clemson. They went to Clemson. Florida State won the series 2-1. Florida State won the rubber match 6-3. Let's see. NC State went to Stanford. Stanford won the series 2-1. Won the rubber match 9-5. Let's see. NC State there 31-19, 13-14 in conference play. Stanford is 26-23, 12-15 in conference play. It looks like we probably had a series or 2 wrap up on Saturday. Let's see here. Yes. Louisville went to Miami. Miami won the series 2-1. Won the rubber match, 10-8. Louisville, they are 28-25, 11-16 in the conference. Miami is 36-15, 15-12 in the conference. Now let's let's take a look at the standings. All right, standings for the conference. Georgia Tech is first place, 22-5, 42-8 overall record. Number 2 RPI, number 32 non-conference RPI. UNC is 20-7, 2 games behind. 49-1. Number 5 RPI, number 11 non-conference RPI. Florida State 17-10. 5 games behind, 36-15, 7 RPI and non-conference RPI. They're 7 in both of them. Boston College is also 17-10. They're 5 games behind as well, 36-17, 28 RPI, 95 non-conference. So not a good non-conference schedule for Boston College. Miami is 15-12. They are 7 games behind, 35-15, 34 RPI, 31 non-conference. Wake Forest is 14-13. They are 8 games behind, 35-17, 17 RPI, 8 non-conference. So they played a very tough non-conference schedule here. Virginia, NC State, and Virginia Tech are all 13-14, so they're 9 games behind. Virginia is 33-18 overall. 23 RPI, 15 non-conference RPI. NC State, they are 31-19 overall, 42 RPI, 91 non-conference. And then Virginia Tech is 27-22, 39 RPI, 62 non-conference RPI. Stanford is 12-15, 10 games behind. They are 25-23, 105 RPI, 212 non-conference RPI. That is 107-point difference in their RPIs there. That's not good at all. Their non-conference schedule must have been just absolutely atrocious. Notre Dame and Louisville are both 11-16 in conference play. They're 11 games behind. Notre Dame was 27-20. They've only played 47 games this year. They'll hit 50 this weekend. I thought you had to have a minimum of like 54 games. Okay. RPI is 81. Non-conference RPI is 114. Louisville 27-25. 94 RPI, 133 non-conference. Pitt and Cal are both 10-17, 12 games behind. Pitt is 28-21, 45 RPI, 51 non-conference. Cal is 27-24, 56 RPI, 97 non-conference. Clemson and Duke are both 9-18, 13 games behind. Clemson is 30-22, RPI 37, non-conference 26. So they've played a tough schedule, and they start the season ranked in like the top 10. The season has not gone how they had hoped it would go. Duke, they are 23-28, 92 RPI, and 175. And I think Duke was ranked at one point too. I think Duke was a top 25 team, and of course this was before conference play started, or maybe early in the conference season. But again, they have really not had a good season. All right, for the ACC scenarios, that's a 2-team race. Georgia Tech needs to either sweep Boston College, who is tied for third, or 2 wins in a North Carolina loss to claim the regular season title. North Carolina needs to sweep NC State. That's not going to be an easy task, and hope Boston College can sweep Georgia Tech for them to win the regular season title. Florida State and Boston College do have an outside chance to overtake North Carolina for second place, but it is a long shot, especially since since Boston College is playing Georgia Tech, who's the best team in the conference so far this season. All right, for the conference tournament, by the way, all 16 teams make the tournament, so there are no cutoffs. Everybody will get to play at least one more game after this weekend. And I will do on the regular season ends on Saturday. On Sunday, I will get the stuff together. And Monday, or it may be Sunday night, that a um, I do a podcast to go over the conference tournaments. I'm definitely going to do a conference tournament preview show uh, before the tournament start. I think they'll start on Tuesday with some of these like early kind of play-in games, stuff like that. And then from there, I'll go into I may kind of hop on sporadically through the week and talk about what has happened um, in the conference tournament for each conference during the day, and kind of keep an updated bracket of what's going on. I think that may be kind of fun to do. It'll just kind of depend on my schedule for next week, but we'll see about that. Last, we have the SEC. Let's hop over to the SEC here. All right, let's see. All right, so it looks like at least 2 series maybe finished on Saturday. We'll start with the Sunday series finales. Let's see. Kentucky went to number 21 Florida. Florida, the series win 2-1. Florida won the rubber match game 9-6. Kentucky is 30-18, 12-15 in conference play. Florida, they are 34-18, 15-12 conference play. Number 4, Texas made the trip to Tennessee. Tennessee won the series 2-1. Texas won the getaway game 13-6 to avoid getting swept. 37-12, 16-10 in the conference for Texas. Tennessee is 35-18, 13-14 in the conference. Number 19, Alabama went to South Carolina. Alabama with the series sweep. Won the getaway game 7-6. Not a clean game for either team there. They both had 2 errors. Let's see. Alabama, they are 35-17, 16-11 in the conference. South Carolina is 22-31, and a paltry 7-20 in the conference. Vanderbilt. This is one of the other teams I was talking about earlier who is in danger of missing the regionals this year and breaking, in their case, a 19-year streak of making regionals. This is a bad look for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt went to Missouri, which is the worst team in the conference this year. Missouri won the series 2-1. Missouri won the rubber match 4-1. Vanderbilt is 29-24, 11-16 on the season. Missouri is 23-27, and they are 6-21 on the season. Boomer Sooner made the trip to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. It's 24 Oklahoma, 17 Arkansas. It's always this time of these solo podcasts where my voice is really starts hating me. Oklahoma won. Arkansas won the series 2-1. Oklahoma won the getaway game 15-10. Oklahoma 31-18 on the season, 13-14 in conference play. Arkansas 34-18. They are 15-12 in the conference. And then finally, LSU made the trip to number 5 Georgia. No drama in this one at all. Georgia won the series in a sweep. Won the getaway game 12-1. LSU played. It was the Saturday game. I listened to a little bit of it, and LSU made a little bit of a comeback in that one. It looked like Georgia had been in control the entire game, and it looked like there was maybe a chance that there was a couple of chances Georgia had to have a 10-run rule win, and they couldn't get it done. um, but I LSU closed within. I think like I want to say it was like maybe 3 at one point, and then 3 or 5. But Georgia shut the door, and then they dogpiled after the win on Saturday, and I heard the LSU announcer go, that's kind of weird, and then afterwards he realized that they had just wrapped up the regular season championship. So Georgia is the regular season champion for the SEC. They they won that one. I mean it's they have a 4.5 game lead over the two teams that are behind them, and this is Wes. What's his name? Wes. I want to say it's Wes Johnson. He was the pitching coach for LSU when they won the national championship in 2023. He was there in 24. Of course, he left for Georgia last year, and it has gotten them. They've been a pretty top 5 team for most of the year. he's built a really good team there in Georgia. So congratulations to Georgia on your conference regular season conference title there. Let's see, the two series wrapped up on Saturday. Number 6 Auburn hosted number 11 Mississippi State. Auburn won the series 2-1. They won the rubber match 13-2. Let's see, Auburn is 35-16, 16-11 in the conference. Mississippi State is 38-14, 15-12 in the conference. And then Texas A&M, number 9 Texas A&M went to Oxford to take on number 20 Ole Miss. Ole Miss won the series 2-1. They won the final game 6-5. That was of course the rubber match game. Let's see, Texas A&M, they are 37-12, 16-10 in the conference. Ole Miss, they are 35-18, 14-13 in the conference. All right, let's pull up the standings in the conference here. Georgia, of course, I just said they won the conference. 21-6, 41-11 overall, 14 RPI, 85 non-conference. So that's not great. RPI overall is good, but their non-conference RPI is not good. It's not going to make a difference. So I mean, they're going to be a top 8 host, or top 8 national seed when it's all said and done. See, Texas A&M. It's only appropriate they're tied at second place, 16-10. They're both 4.5 games behind. And if you're listening for the first time, going, why is there half games in college baseball? In this situation, it's because Texas A&M, they had the final game of their series against each other. It was canceled because of weather. So that's why they're a half game behind, like 4.5 games behind Georgia, and only a half game ahead of the two teams behind them. And some of these teams that are tied for the position they're in, it's funny because of the rivalries and stuff. But so Texas, they are 37-12. Texas A&M is also 37-12. They both have the same exact conference record and overall record. RPI for Texas is 4, non-conference RPI is 3, so they played a very tough non-conference record or non-conference schedule. Texas A&M RPI is 10, non-conference RPI is 23. Next up we have Auburn and Alabama. That's why I said it's funny, because they're tied in third place at 16-11. They're 5 games behind. Auburn is 35-15. Their RPI is really good. They're 3-2. 3 RPI, 2 non-conference. Alabama 35 and 17, RPI of 6 and 6. So they're same for conference or overall and non-conference. Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Florida are all 15 and 12, 6 games behind. Mississippi State is 38 and 14, RPI of 12, non-conference RPI of 4. Arkansas 34 and 18. So is Florida 34 and 18. Arkansas RPI is 26 and 59 non-conference. Florida, their RPI is 11 and 20, so they played a tougher schedule than Arkansas. Ole Miss is 14 and 13. They are alone in their position. They're 7 games behind. They're also 34 and 18. 13 RPI, 21 non-conference RPI. Tennessee and Oklahoma are both 13 and 14 and 8 games behind. Tennessee is also 34 and 18, 31 and 42 non-conference RPI. You had, let's see, 4 teams in a row with a 34 and 18 record. That's incredible. That's really funny. You have, you have close records, like in conference play, like or overall records and stuff like that. When you're bunched up like this, but to have four teams in a row with identical overall records and like within one game of each other, and conference play. I mean, 3 of them are tied with the same record, or two of them are tied with the same conference record, and then Ole Miss is 1 game behind, and Tennessee is 2 games behind conference wise, but they all have the same overall record. It's funny. All right, Tennessee, so they're 34 and 18. They're the last of that one. 31 RPI, 42 non-conference. Oklahoma's 13 and 14. 8 games behind, 31 and 18 record. 19 RPI, 24 non-conference. Vandy is 12 and 15. They are 9 games behind. I'm sorry, 10 games behind. 39 and 24 overall record. 74 RPI, 143 non-conference. So not a good non-conference RPI for them. LSU, they are 9 and 18. They are 12 games behind, 29 and 24. RPI 57 and non-conference RPI 57. And then South Carolina, they are 7 and 20. 14 games behind, 22 and 30. RPI of 111 and non-conference RPI of 137. And then Mizzou is 6 and 21. 15 games behind, 23 and 27. 121 RPI and 102 non-conference RPI. So there's zero drama for the regular season championship as Georgia's already wrapped it up with the series sweep of LSU this past weekend. The drama for the SEC is now just on the seeding. And it's also who will make it from the bottom of the league. Only 14 of the 16 teams make their way to the conference tournament. The drama will be really between LSU and South Carolina. LSU plays Florida, and South Carolina plays Vandy. If LSU can just win 1 game against Florida, they will they'll get to 30 wins on the season, and they will hit 10 wins in conference play, and that will put them just ahead enough of South Carolina that it doesn't really matter what South Carolina does the rest of the way in the final 2 games of the series. They won't be able to catch up. So, that's the drama this weekend. As far as the SEC goes. All right, so I've spoiled a little bit of this coming week in conference play. We'll look over with the American, and we'll start with who's playing who in the American this week. I'm on the wrong date again. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, let's see. You have Memphis visiting Charlotte, East Carolina going to Florida Atlantic, Wichita State going to South Florida, UAB going to UTSA, and Tulane going to Rice. In the Conference USA, Missouri State is headed to Kennesaw State, Western Kentucky headed to Delaware, Sam Houston is headed to La Tech, Liberty is headed to Middle Tennessee, Jacksonville State is headed to Dallas Baptist, and Florida International is headed to New Mexico State. And I'm proud of myself there because I didn't say Sam Houston State or Middle Tennessee State. Sun Belt. I don't know the series off the top of my head, but let's see. All right. Sun Belt, we have Appalachian State headed to Georgia State. James Madison headed to Old Dominion. Marshall headed to Texas State. This is Texas State's final regular season series in the Sun Belt before they depart for the Pac-12. Troy is headed to Monroe to take on ULM, or UL Monroe. Number 20, Coastal Carolina is headed to Lafayette, take on Louisiana Lafayette. I have never been a Louisiana Lafayette fan before, but I am this weekend. I'm hoping for a sweep by them. Arkansas State is headed to Mobile, take on South Alabama. And then Georgia Southern is headed to number 8, Southern Miss, and I am hoping for a clean sweep out of that series here. Hoping for Southern wrap up their win their first regular season title in the conference since coming over. All right, in the ACC, Miami is headed to number 11, Florida State. Oh, wow, that's cool. All right, that's a good job by the ACC there, saving that series till the end of the season. Let's see. Clemson is headed to Virginia Tech. Wake Forest is headed to Duke. Notre Dame is headed to Pittsburgh. Virginia is headed to Louisville. Number 3, Georgia Tech is headed to number 23, Boston College. Number 2, North Carolina is headed to North Carolina State. And then Stanford is headed to Berkeley to take on Cal. And finally, the SEC, number 12, Arkansas is headed to Kentucky. South Carolina headed to Vanderbilt. Number 15, Ole Miss is headed to Tuscaloosa to take on number 18, Alabama. Number 13, Mississippi State is headed to number 10, Texas A&M. Number 19, Florida is headed to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU. Missouri is headed to number 6, Texas. Tennessee is headed to Oklahoma. And number 4, Georgia is headed to number 5, Auburn. That's cool, too. That's another, football-wise, that rivalry is actually older and played more than the Alabama rivalry. So that's cool that they will save that one for the final weekend too. All right, like I said, this is this season finale, right? Regular season finale for college baseball. We have conference tournament starting next week. I believe they start on Tuesday. I'll hop on Sunday night or Monday night to do a preview of the conference tournaments, and we will roll from there. And like I said, I'm going to try to do as many little mini episodes as I can talking about the day in the conference tournaments, tell you who's in, who's out, stuff like that. But before I go, I'll do a quick rundown of the top 25. Number 1, UCLA. They have been there pretty much most of the season. Number 2, North Carolina. Number 3, Georgia Tech. Number 4, Georgia. Number 5, Auburn. Number 6, Texas. 7, Oregon State. Number 8, Southern Miss. Number 9, West Virginia. West Virginia. Number 10, Texas A&M. Number 11, Florida State. Number 12, Arkansas. Number 13, Mississippi State. 14 Kansas, 15 Ole Miss, 16 Oregon, 17 Southern Cal, 18 Alabama, 19 Florida, 20 Coastal Carolina, 21 Oklahoma State, 22 Arizona State, 23 Boston College, 24 Nebraska, 25 Cincinnati. And I will say it again, the only two non-traditional Power 4 teams in the top 25, the only mid-major schools in the top 25, is number 8 Southern Miss and number 20 Coastal Carolina, and they're both in the Sun Belt, which should almost be considered money-wise they don't compete, but I mean, as far as teams go, I would say they're a power conference in baseball. Definitely not in football or basketball, but baseball they hold their own. So, with that being said, guys, that'll end this week's episode. I appreciate you joining me. And so until next time, I hope you have a good night.